Hello everyone, you are watching Frame by Frame. I'm your host Dania.
And I'm Josh, your director.
The best.
Hey.
Josh. How was your day?
So far, so good. I certainly can't complain. We have a tremendous guest in here today. It is the wonderful Caleb Barrett.
Yes. She's an art teacher and also she's an artist.
Mm-hmm. So what do you say? Want to jump right in?
I'm excited for her, so let's get started. Hey, Caleb, welcome.
Hello.
Okay, so we tried to break the ice.
Yeah.
Did great job.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so who's Caleb as an artist?
Who am I as an artist?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's kind of changed. So I started out mostly working on the figure, just anatomy studies, things like that. But recently I've been really inspired by the music scene. So I've been making art about the punk scene and specifically in Columbia, but I really want to branch out into things happening in Augusta as well.
And I heard you have show coming.
Yes, I have a show coming up in June, so I've been preparing for it.
Yeah, me and Josh, we were talking about this earlier actually, so we are excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I like your work a lot. The big one on the canvas that you had hung on the wall, that was so cool.
Thank you. That's actually a bed sheet.
Really?
Yes, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the bit with the show is the punk scene is all DIY, make it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even need a fancy venue. They're using carports and sheds, which I think is amazing. So all of the materials I'm painting on are donated or found, old vinyls or bed sheets or things like that. Yeah.
That's such a cool way to incorporate the punk mantra into your art and kind of having that it's three-dimensional, four-dimensional kind of space for it. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yes, I'm kind of combining the worlds because I come from an academic, oil painting, academia, I went to school for it, but I started hanging out in the punk scene and it's amazing. They're amazing.
Caleb, what do you enjoy most about teaching art?
Teaching art?
Yeah.
So specifically high schoolers, they're just kind of getting to know themselves, they're bringing together their identity, and as they're learning how to use the materials on a technical level, they're also getting this newfound autonomy through the projects themselves, and they're really just kind of exploring who they are, and it's really exciting, and I like when they surprise themselves. I can't tell you how many times a student kind of gets dropped into my class, not necessarily wanting to take it, and they come in I don't want to take art, I'm not good at art, I don't like it, and then by the end of it, they're like, all right, well, just make sure I have you next year for art 2. Just make sure I have you.
Really?
It's really sweet.
So how do you feel when they told you that?
It makes me excited because they have a newfound love for art now, and that's really exciting. I'm really inspired by my coworkers. I have a coworker specifically. Her name's Becca Anchor, and she's always making art. Always. She's constantly having art shows and pop-ups at her house. She has a studio behind her home, and she's constantly doing it. And so I actually was not the best at balancing it, and it's really hard, and I was only really making art in the summertime, but I really look up to her. So I've started to make more art on the weekends and when I have energy when I get home. Surrounding myself with not just kid artists, but also the other artists in the building have really helped me.
So your first show, that idea came from where exactly?
So my friends were just like, hey, we're going to a show this weekend. Do you want to come with me? And I was like, sure. So we went, and I was so impressed by what I saw. Most of them, first of all, were just teenagers, and they're incredible musicians. They make everything from scratch. Their clothes, the venues, the music, all of it is just so raw, and they're just so motivated to create. It's like a rebellion, a form of rebellion, a form of protest, but in the best way, in a constructive way. And I was so inspired by these people who have good motives. Most of the shows, all the money that they make, the entry fees, all of it goes to charity. There's a charity in Columbia called Food Not Bombs, and almost every show the proceeds go to Food Not Bombs. And this is coming from kids that don't even have money themselves. So they're really good people, and I was just so inspired. I had to do something about it. I was like, we have to make an art show. All the proceeds are going to go to Food Not Bombs. All the art I'm going to give away for free. Like, this is going to be a whole thing.
You mentioned Colombia a lot. Do you feel most your art activities in Colombia?
Yes, so it started in Augusta. I made friends here, and we do have some nice pocket. We have a good art community here. I've made friends with a lot of people here, and that's where I started my figurative art, but really being inspired by the music scene in Colombia. So most of it's happening there now, yes. But my goal is after this art show in June, I want to get involved with the music scene in Augusta. You know, there's Grantskis, and it's like a record shop by day and then a venue by night. I would love to work with them.
If you can't describe your art in one word, or if it's not one word, I can give you 3 words.
This is such a hard one for me. It would probably be connection. Really, connection, I think, or community. Really, I'm inspired by the people that I've met recently and how they impact the community around them. And so that's what my art is really about. Like, yes, it's about the music, but really it's about community. So that would probably be my word. And it's all nonprofit.
So on that note, what kind of art like inspires you in particular? Like when you're going out looking for something to try and like get your like brain moving and your gray matter going, what kind of art do you consume?
Well, I guess whatever's out. I'm always going to the opening shows first Friday downtown. So whatever local artist or artist that is like working in the Gertrude Herbert, I'm really inspired by local artists. I'm inspired by the DIY artists in Colombia as well, because they don't have any kind of formal training. They're making art from what they've learned themselves, and that's really inspiring to me. Like, they've never had any kind of academic background. It's all just raw.
What you're gonna create next? Like, if you have project, you finish it. How do you decide you're gonna go to the next project?
So actually, it's not I finish a project and then I go to the next one.
I love this answer.
I do not finish project. I start another one. I don't finish that one either, and then I start another one. And then another, and then I have 12 paintings right now.
Okay.
Just in the middle of them. So finishing a project would be really cool. That's the goal. That's the dream.
Okay. So your goal, finishing your project.
Finishing my own paintings, yes. So it kind of happens spontaneously. I'll just have this idea, or I'll start thinking about something, and I'll just obsessively think about it all day, and I have to get it on paper. So sometimes I have a little sketchbook I bring with me to work. So sometimes I'll scribble it down really fast, and then when I get home, I'll start it. Sometimes I start it in class. So, yeah.
All right, you guys stay right there. We're going to have way more when we come back.
Yeah, so stay with us. When you start using AI too much now, so you literally stop asking your friend for advice.
Right.
How do you think about this, Josh? I just heard this yesterday. About when you start using AI too much, like, you know, we ask ChatGPT about everything.
So
seriously, so it's like, yeah, seriously, it's my best friend now, especially with English stuff.
So, though I think it's unavoidable in a lot of cases, like even when you do like a search on the web or anything like that, like you'll wind up getting like an AI answer. I really go out of my way to try and minimize my use of AI as much as possible. So like, I still try to engage with people the most I can. I get real sketchy about it. I've never been one to like. I see AI as both a tool in the sense that it's kind of ubiquitous now and it's here to stay, but it's also one of those things that I think is cutting down job after job after job and after job, and it's something that scares me personally. So it's just something like, if I can avoid using AI for something, I'm going to try to.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Okay, so during my GMA shift, if I using AI, I'm using for English purpose. You know, grammar, English, writing, something like that. But during my shift, I ask Mary, Barkley, anyone from the GMA crew. But I mean, no, I use it.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things. Like the more like it's so pervasive in how it exists in the modern era, that I don't necessarily begrudge anyone, but especially when it comes down to generative AI, where it's just scraping artists' work and stuff like that, like that's where I'm like,
Yeah. No.
But like when it just comes down to like writing tools and stuff like that, it's a tool like anything else.
It's
like
helping. I'm not gonna lie.
It's there and it's going to help. It kind of just comes down to one's personal application of it. Like it's anything else. Like, you know, people got mad at cars when they first came out, you know, and like for every bit of like new technology, there's always some level of pushback on it. Like, but we use computers every day, you know, so it's just one of those things where there's a certain level of it that I think is totally acceptable and within the context of like helping a person as opposed to it being used as a crutch or used as a tool to replace a person who could and should be in a particular job. So it's a fine line, but it is a scary one to walk in these days.
And in a classroom setting, it's very right now. It is very easy to tell if something is AI.
Oh,
and so
absolutely.
we do have that going for us. If someone were to use AI for their art,
you can get it.
It's immediate. It's immediate. So there is that, but that's right now. I mean, everything's advancing so much. I worry about when you won't be able to tell, like when it, that is scary.
I remember I was judging last year graphic design in Atlanta, and me and another judge, we literally like, oh, this is 100% AI.
Yeah.
Like even me and you, we're not gonna do that. This like 100%. So, but like what you said, it's really advanced now. They use it for everything. I was like, they're gonna copy this interview and make Josh AI. No, Josh, Josh, we're gonna miss you.
So,
no,
it was
please
fun,
no.
guys. I've been replaced.
He's real, believe me.
So, no, the stuff that gets me every now and again is like when I'm scrolling through like videos and stuff like that, and you start seeing like the doorbell footage. It has gotten harder and harder for me to tell the difference between a real video and a fake video. Like now it's stuff I know the script that it's running.
Yeah.
So I can look at that and go, oh, like I have a pretty clear idea that this is an AI video, but it's just one of those ones where I'm like, I completely understand if someone didn't know that. And so it's just one of those things where I'm like, man. And it's funny because I was talking about it 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago with a friend, and I was like, man, I'm really worried about, when we're not able to tell the difference. And then 2 months later, I'm like, I'm struggling now. Like it was that fast. So it's like, well, X.
And especially in the classroom, like what you said, like of course they like kids. I'm gonna say kids again. Your kids, okay? It's even for me when I'm used to use AI as a tool during my project. I like it, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like, this enjoying the time to create something, like take 1 hour to see your result on the screen instead of take like 10 seconds to press something, it's... Anyway, AI now everywhere, and it's not gonna take my job.
Well, it is funny you say that. The students, students are sneaky. They use AI to write their papers.
Absolutely.
We know this. But the students now have been putting their teachers' feedback into AI, like detectors, and the teachers' comments about their papers are AI. So teachers are using it too.
All right, everybody. You guys stay locked in. We got way more with Caleb coming up.
Yeah, don't go far.
Students are sneaky. They use AI to write their papers.
Absolutely.
We know this. But the students now have been putting their teachers' feedback into AI, like detectors, and the teachers' comments about their papers are AI. So teachers are using it too.
Wow.
Yes.
This is very interesting.
So this does go both ways. It is funny. I wasn't aware this was happening, so they showed me the other day.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay.
How do you think artists in general, or can be even art teacher, keep her knowledge or keep their knowledge upgrade all the time? What they have to do?
Oh, I'm constantly learning. Constantly. I'm learning from the students. I'm learning from other artists. I'm learning while I make art. I fail a lot. That's good. That's how I know I've learned something.
I love that.
Constant.
You said I fail a lot.
I fail so much. But I fail upwards. I learn every single time. And I think part of that, too, is continuing to make your own art. I think it would be hard to teach art if I didn't also make it. I think that's really important. So they could see you failing, they could see you experimenting, they can see those things, so that when they do it, it's relatable and they don't feel so much pressure to be perfect. And that's something I really try and ingrain in them, is you do not have to be perfect. It is a part of the process.
So do you care about the feedback? If you make a piece of art and you feel like you really like touch this from inside, do you, and somebody told you, give me this face before even say anything, do you really care about it?
Well, yes and no. I love hearing feedback. I love hearing people's perspective on my work. That's fun for me. But I am usually so satisfied with my piece that I don't. If someone weren't to like it, that would be okay with me, and that's a part of it. It's all perception. Art is perception, so it would be okay.
For me, I feel if I like something, sorry, I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I care. But I was like tiny bit,
Yeah.
But it depends. Like in the news, and also I think Josh can agree with me. It's teamwork. Like it's nothing about in general in art. It's not about just I don't like it. What you prefer or you don't prefer. Maybe I'm talking about more technology, like using. Photoshop or using as a graphic designer or editor, So it's not I like it or I don't like it. What you have to do and you should not do it, So I think that's. How do you feel about it, Josh? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like when it comes down to it, when I first got started in this industry, like I was terrified of making any kind of creative decision, because I wanted everything to be right. I wanted everything to be correct. I wanted everything to be this and anything. The longer I've kind of gone on, the more I realize, this is with directing especially, the more I realize a lot of the times it's not, something isn't necessarily a mistake unless you make it into one. Yeah. And you kind of have to just understand that everything's a process, and there's feedback that I take in the industry now that I take it from specific people, right? I don't take every bit of feedback, because I think if you take everyone's opinion, especially if they don't understand what you were trying to do or trying to accomplish, their perspective on it might not be right. It might not be correct. It might not be valuable to you. So you have to kind of talk to people who kind of speak the same language and kind of understand what you were going for to begin with. Yeah. And getting those different perspectives, I think, are important. But mostly the ones that I would focus on are the ones that are from people that you deeply respect and kind of get what you're trying to accomplish to begin with, because otherwise, there's all sorts of things. When I'm working on something, if it's there's times when I was like, I need this to be perfect, right? And it's never going to be perfect, right? It's either I don't have this bit of VO, I don't have this thing, I wish I would have shot something different, I wish I would have done this, that, or another thing different, or you just run out of time. Sometimes, we work on a lot of projects all the time, and you're like, oh, I really wanted this to show this. I wanted this to be cut with this. But it's I was working on 10 different projects at one time, and at some point you just have to get it out. So it really depends on the perspective of the person who's giving you feedback. And I agree with this. I don't think every bit of feedback is necessarily valuable. No. I think it's just one of those things where you kind of have to have a certain level of confidence in your own work. And I think that comes with time. Yeah. Because again, baby director Josh, ooh boy, I was stressed and anxious all the time. Nowadays, way more laid back.
Confident.
So
believe a confident. So. You feel like if you're, I'm not gonna say 100% confident, but you really have this. Let's say 50%. You feel different when somebody told you,
oh yeah, it affects me.
You can do this better.
Oh yeah, it affects me, and it depends on who's telling me in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
There are times I get frustrated with. I feel what I feel is undue criticism. But for the most part, I also try and stop and think that most people are especially if you took the time to like kind of tell them. A lot of the people are just trying to help. You know, I try not to think the worst in people trying to give me advice or anything like that. So it's kind of like just taking everything with a grain of salt and trusting yourself and your judgment on what you're trying to make. So that's my thought process anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was actually, every time I'm working on big project here with the news, it's not like any story, like big project, like series. So I'm working with Mary now. Every time I'm doing something like that, I go to Rex. You know, Rex, he's the one doing the promo here in the station. So, like today, I was like, exported to him. Before he watch it, I was watching mine, and then email him like, don't watch it, because I know what I did. He emailed immediately. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's not all the like feedback. It's important, right?
Right.
Yeah, some of them is gonna be like, yeah, it's okay. Thank you so much for your feedback. Well, I will do what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel about perfection?
Gosh, this is something I have to work on it. My students have to work on it. We work on it together. Like the need to make it perfect. Perfect, not in the sense of perfect, but perfect of the way that I envisioned it in my mind. I want that on the paper, just the way I imagined it.
Okay.
But that's not always the case when you make something. It kind of evolves, or it's not quite what you imagined in the beginning. Especially if you're experimenting with new materials or new content.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm constantly telling students like, don't worry about it being perfect. And they're so hard on themselves. So I have to show them as well. Like when I make art, I'm like, look, this is how it started. It was terrible. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of rough.
I don't like to be perfect as a person, in general.
No, I think flaws are what make people interesting.
I agree. Yeah.
It must be why the kids like me so much.
We
fell together. cut. No, they're actually my biggest cheerleaders. They really are. They're stalkers, and they did find my Cola Punk Art Show page. I have an Instagram, and they found it. I didn't even tell them about it. They just found it.
Oh my God.
And so every day they've been like, all right, did you finish that piece, Miss Barrett? I saw it on your story. Is it done yet? You need to finish it. Get on that. So they've actually been really nice for this whole process.
How do they know that you're coming today here?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
What's their reaction?
They think it's really cool. I told them I'm nervous. And like, don't be nervous, Miss Barrett. They're so supportive. They really are.
Is any one of them inspire you?
Yes. Oh, they all, as a whole, they all inspire me. A lot of them are having to get out of their comfort zone every time they walk in my room.
Okay,
and I have
like
so
that.
much respect for that. Like this is way out of my comfort zone. So I'm right there with them today. But yeah, I have students who are just so fearless. They're fearless with what they make art about. They're fearless with trying new items. I have students that just go in my closet and they just find random things, and there are random things, and they make art out of it. Like, just their brain sees a material and they're like, oh, I know exactly what to do with this. And I love that. I love that. Did start by drawing anime. I did. Unfortunately.
Wait, what's to be ashamed about with that?
There's no shame. There's no shame.
What's to be ashamed about
There's
that?
no shame.
I'm going to leave the room. I'm just going to keep you. You don't know what did you said.
No. Well, my elementary school art teacher was incredible. So she inspired me a lot. But my first, like, individual, like, I am going to start making art regularly was anime. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did start in middle school, 6th grade, lots of anime. And then it kind of went from there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is fascinating. I love that.
Yeah, so you hear art teachers complain about the anime because they're like, that's, I want them to make real art. Well, for a lot of them, just like me, that's how it starts.
A lot of my friends have started the same way, drawing like Dragon Ball Z stuff. So,
yes. So I'm a big supporter of anime in my classroom because I was right there.
But yeah, Josh, he was like, what? Anime?
Hey, man.
Hey.
I actually just got into anime again. It was something that I resisted for a long time. I watched it a little bit as a kid, but it wasn't something that I was like pursuing all the time. And then recently I was like, you know what? No, I'm making a concerted effort. It was actually it's probably like January of this year, and I watched like 5 or 6 in a row, and I was like, I'm having a blast right now. So I'm new to the scene, but I'll take recommendations. Y'all feel free to shoot me some emails.
Yeah, email Josh for any recommendation for anime show, please. Caleb, if you have any recommendation for him?
Actually, I'm not watching anything currently. I did just finish Solo Leveling.
Okay.
That was good. That was a good one.
I've heard it, haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
So.
It's good.
In that case, all right, so one of our favorite questions to end out actually originated with a Kevin Smith quote, and that is that it costs you nothing to encourage an artist. So, given the opportunity to encourage young artists every day, my question is, what would you say to encourage, or what would you do, or how can one encourage a artist?
How to encourage an artist? I would tell them to never stop being curious. Never stop being curious.
That's cool.
Ask questions. Ask a million questions a day.
Yeah.
Be obnoxious. Become obsessed about something unnecessarily.
Yeah, I like that. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Caleb, we are so happy for having you today. Seriously, we're enjoying our time with you. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was scary.
All right, everybody. What a great show. What a fun time being able to talk to Caleb about a wide variety of topics. Danya.
I'm excited for her first show, actually.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a great time. We're going to have to check that out.
Yes.
And if you guys want to be on the show, feel free and reach out to us. I'm at jrecor@wjbf.com and
dlawir@wgbf.com. And especially if you are an art teacher and you have a business on the side, we love to support you. So keep in touch with us.
we are all about supporting our local community. So
Yes.
with that being said, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
See you soon.